Evening, VC. Dave here. This episode brought to you by Common Market and a big ass Modelo. Been a long day. Got up real early. Had way too much food still in me to be up that early. And headed over to Noble Records for Record Store Day. All right, so we'll jump into the records here. This might be a long one, a la Carlson or a Mazzy flick, but yeah, bear with me. Picked up some great stuff, man, and just to preface, none of it are Record Store Day titles, but man, do I love Record Store Day. So the first record is one that actually came in the mail, and this is one of the highest grails that I had hoped to find. This is a record that John in England had showed. Man, he shows tons of great stuff. Lots of great reggae, funk, soul, and jazz. And ever since I checked this out after you showed it, I just blown away. And a friend of mine also recommended it almost at the same day. It just randomly, he had come over and he had been listening to a bunch of reggae on YouTube, and he's like, dude, this is some dope stuff. It's Johnny Osborne, Truce and Rights. This is an original Jamaica pressing from 1979. And this is on the Studio One label. It's all in one piece. The record is in great condition. The labels are still minty. Unbelievable. And I got this record for less than $40 delivered. So, I mean, I haven't seen it go less than, in this condition, less than $100. So I'm still blown away at that find. Such a great album. It's on YouTube, highly recommended, obviously. And so I'd be happy if that's all I got recently. But as it were, Record Store Day, I don't mess with Lunchbox anymore unless I go at like closing. The line is bonkers, and I'm just not interested. And then Saturday he marks stuff down anyway. And with jazz, which is what I'm probably looking for when it comes to Record Store Day, almost all of it always survives, and is marked down. So, you know, it's cool. And repo's next door, so I can always pop in there whenever I feel like it. But this year, this is Noble Records' first year, so was really stoked about what Dylan has been up to. Man's been putting in a lot of hard work, driving hours on end to pick up great collections, to have in the shop. And man, it's appreciated. And so I decided, since work let us off early Wednesday, which was dominant, I'd just go ahead and hit up Lunchbox and repo early. So, and I'm glad I did, because some of this stuff, with the line and everything, some of this stuff probably wouldn't be there. So, first thing I found, man, I love finding cool 7-inch singles. This is on Touch and Go, All the Saints, with their track Host, and then one of my favorite bands from about a decade ago, These Arms Are Snakes, and track Washburn. Badass band from Seattle. If you're not familiar with them, everything they've done is high energy, kick-ass, heavy. Just kind of came from that whole Poison the Well, heavy, not so much emo, but that when some of those bands got heavier, period, is These Arms Are Snakes, and their bass player is now in Russian Circles, which you can check out on one of my recent videos. So I just jammed this. This is killer 7-inch. Very happy to find that for like a couple bucks. Got some recommendations that have been coming my way. This one was highly recommended from Alex out in California. Motoric 247 is his channel. And this is Angel Bat Dawid, artist from Chicago, I believe. And this is on the Intergalactic Mantra Recording Company label. Just like the International Anthem Recording Company label. This is the album The Oracle. This is a contender, certainly for best album of the year. In my top 3, for sure. And I mean, the descriptions they give on these records are just perfect. Celestial psalms, spiritual jazz, experiments, and homemade hymns captured in everyday music memos by one-woman chorus of clarinets, voices, vessels, and keys. This is a stunning record, and they only had one copy, and Scott was kind enough to hold it for me until I could get over there Wednesday and grab it. So, Angel Bat Dawid, definitely a remarkable album. And then, unsuspectingly, I found this reissue. I didn't know Soul Jazz was putting this out. Steve Reed, Rhythmatism. Great reissue. This was, I think, originally put out in '76. It's a rare jazz record. Steve Reed's just an amazing drummer. And I picked up his other reissue, so was really stoked to grab this. And Arthur Blythe is on alto. Really dig Arthur Blythe. So Charles Tyler on baritone sax. Great musicians on this record. So haven't spun this one yet, so I've just picked up a lot of these here. So next record I found in the used bin. I was looking for a different record from this group, and I was looking for the live record that someone in the VC just showed. I can't remember who it was. But this is Harmonia Documents, 1975. It's like German, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but German electronic ambient stuff. Really digging this stuff. Just got into it recently, and this was really cheap used copy. Real heavy piece of vinyl. This is like 200 gram or something, or 180 gram. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, this thing is a hoss. Let's see what the label here. Yeah, it's just a plain label, but it's a sturdy piece of wax, and it's good because it plays quiet, and with this type of music you want it to play quiet. So I was really happy to find that, since they didn't have the live album. This was also in the used bin, and this is my favorite New York hardcore band, this side of Helmet, and that's Unsane, and this is Total Destruction. This is a great Unsane record. Crazy cover art. 93 was the year on this. This is the reissue. This sounds really good for a reissue on Matador. What can I say about Unsane? Kind of a little on the thrashier end of the heavy. of the hardcore. So I've got a lot of their CDs, and just kind of been picking up whatever vinyl I find here and there. So really stoked to find that dirt cheap. These records here just finally got a solid reissue, and stoked. This is the first Queens of the Stone Age record. Basically, I call it Desert album. This is on limited edition colored wax. This was the original cover art. So that's and it folds out just like the original. So, oh yeah, Buenos Nachos, Señorita. That's rocking right there. Really stoked this got a reissue. Songs for the Deaf did as well, which was 10 more bucks. So I didn't pick it up yet. I will at some point. But Regular John is on this. That opens that album. That's probably my favorite Queen song. Everybody knows Queens. This next record is gonna finish as my record of the year. Recently discovered this thanks to Steve Carlson. He showed the record, described it like he does with a lot of information, and I was intrigued on this one right off. And he played a sample. It was amazing. And this is Tinner Arwen, a Magyar. And this is on the Wedge label from this year. It features Warren Ellis, features Stephen O'Malley from Sun. And this is a group from Mali in Africa. They're basically nomads that live in the desert and got up to Morocco, recorded this. This is one of the best recordings I've ever heard in my life. As far as recording sound quality, it's impeccable. I mean, it's up there with Kowloon City and the Clark album for me, as far as the clearest, most perfect recording. The guitar on this just blows me away. I've had this in the car since I got the download, and it hasn't come out of the car. Highly recommended. I really didn't think I'd be one to be into into these types of vocals. They sing in Touareg, which is their native language. It's really beautiful, powerful. This is a remarkable album. And it's interesting talking with Scott at Lunchbox. He's like, yeah, they came to Greensboro, North Carolina, and played, and there was a big protest about them playing there because of what they wear. What a bunch of pieces of shit. What they sing about is actually against like terrorism and all that bullshit. So that's how fucking ignorant people here are in the South, still to this day. You're gonna go and protest someone that's actually on your side. Fucking retarded. Great album of the year. Next, Fela and the Africa 70, Sorrow, Tears, and Blood. Another phenomenal reissue from Knitting Factory. This was originally put out in 1977. Minko, the Polish Mafia's got an original sitting up in Connecticut. Oh, I want to get it. This is a great one. This was super cheap. Different cover. Really like this cover. Dig the originals though. This was one years ago that I pretty sure this is the one that Kieran Needle Groove showed in one of his videos. and that's when I first checked out Fela. Was thanks to him. And then my friend Jeff came along, I think last year, and really turned me on to some more Fela. So it's been the year of Fela, and it continues. Fantastic. God. You can't go wrong with any of his records. So I think that's everything I picked up at Lunchbox. And then I snuck into Repo on Wednesday as well, and picked up Negative Approach, Tied Down, killer punk, heavy, thrashy dominance. On Touch and Go, this is originally from '83. This is some type of reissue, I'm sure, because it came with a download. And Brandon, the singer, we just saw him live with his new band, Easy Action, open for, Dinosaur Jr. And of course he jammed with them at the end, the Stooges song, TBI. There's footage in my last video, if you're interested in that. And yeah, this punk stuff, it's all Vinyl Richie's fault. So here we have Arthur Veracai, Brazilian masterpiece from '72 that's been sampled by everybody and their grandmother. Originally on, I believe, Continental was the label. And back in '72, this bombed, and the record label pulled it. And that's why the OGs are scarce as fuck, and why they go for 4 figures. And, well, anytime, like Madlib samples something, then it's going to blow up from that, too. But there's stuff on this I don't dig, but then there's some remarkable stuff on this as well. So this is the reissue from Mr. Bongo. Very, very well done, as they do on all their reissues. It's a gatefold. Really nice piece of wax, and there's some really interesting instruments that it's the label that they use, the Continental label that they use on this record. And yeah, just check it out. Really cool. I didn't have hardly any Brazilian in the collection, so figured might as well start with one of the grails per se. So yeah, ate a bunch of food, way too much food. Got up and headed straight to Noble Records for Record Store Day, because I wasn't really interested in any of the Record Store Day titles. I mean, the Miles Davis would be cool to have, but wasn't anything I was pressed to get. So, went up and supported Dylan, and he had gotten some really amazing records in. A lot of stuff I had to leave behind, which I didn't want to, but it is what it is. But picked up this record that I've been on the hunt for years. Alice Coltrane, Ta the El Daoud, featuring Pharoah Sanders and Joe Henderson. The front covers, I've seen worse. These get a lot of ring wear. It's got a little bit of ring wear on the back. I need to get one of those. It's got a seam split, so I'm going to need to get one of those Seams Easy strips and repair that. But the record is pretty good, and the price was right. I'm really stoked to have this record. I just never thought I'd have, because this hasn't got a reissue. There's been no talk of a reissue. There's just speculation about some of the Impulse titles that like Third Man got the rights to. We'll see what happens. This needs a damn proper reissue, and done better than some of these. I'm worried they're not going to do a good one, because Impulse has kind of been little lazy with how they're doing their reissues, in my opinion. But picked this up. This was real cheap. Condition ain't the best, but one, again, I had not been able to find in years. Pharoah Sanders, Village of the Pharaohs, featuring vocalist Sedatrius Brown. This is a killer. This is one to spin at the club. Yeah. Awesome record. Very happy to finally have that for the Pharoah collection. This next one has already got people, yeah, is this one. I thought getting the Alice Coltrane was crazy. This one's a little bit crazier. Jimi Hendrix Experience, Axis Bold as Love, 1967 original U.S. pressing. This was Dylan's personal copy. He got the crazy new reissue, and I now have this bad boy in the collection. My friend picked up a 68 pressing the other day for $5, and we've been jamming it, and I was like, this is badass. So the next time I see this record, I'm getting it, and it ended up being this one. So, thing of absolute beauty. Yeah. So very, very stoked to have that. And then Dylan was playing some crazy awesome shit in the shop. I'm like, what in the hell are you jamming? And he's like, yeah, somebody sent me this whole stack of records from this label from Sweden or Norway, and Rune Gramophone. And he was playing Hedvig Astad Trio, Smells Funny, and it came with a CD, so he gave me the CD. And this is badass. Get this record. I mean, it's pretty pricey, though. It's probably going to cost you $60 or more to get one to the States. But, man, Trio, whoa. This is all kinds of badass. That's going in the car. Finally, something might replace the Touareg in the car. It's probably going to be this. And then there's been a couple bands that they're against Black Friday and all, so they've had their stuff for free on Bandcamp. Thanks. Low Dose. I can't find their damn record anywhere because they didn't press enough. So, I mean, I got the download. Used to be Fight Amp. Now they've added a female vocalist. Badass, punky, heavy. Vinyl Rich, if you're watching this, Low Dose. Awesome fucking shit. Check this out on Bandcamp. It's free right now. And then I stuck my head into Repo to see how they were making out on Record Store Day. And man, they opened a little early because it was like 40 degrees outside and people were freezing. So they let people in a little bit early. I don't think they were supposed to, but they did anyway. I guess the TV channels were like, "Hey, you letting people in early?" They're like, "No, we'll be open soon." Whatever. But they did really well. They're sold out of a lot of the bigger titles. But then they've got, I mean, the Fish album. There's some stuff. They still got a good bit of copies. So get down there if you're looking for RSD stock. They've got a good bit left. But I grabbed this there, Funkadelic Maggot Brain on Westbound Records. Man, not much needs to be said about this record. This is a German pressing. Really cool Westbound label. Saw them once here in Charlotte with Fishbone and Blue Oyster Cult. Holy shit, that was a good time. Holy crap! You want to see Dave Gibson dance? Yeah. So made it through. That's everything. Sorry this is a long one. Was happy to support all my local record stores. I hit up Tip Top earlier in the week too, so I made the rounds. Absolutely zero record store day titles here, people. So if that's what you're here to check out, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But hope everybody's well. Peace.